Please subscribe to the Broken Battery Podcast on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, or on Podbean. Broken Hello, everybody out there in podcast land. This is Travis. Along with me is my co-host.
Oh, that's when I'm supposed to say my name. Look at that. Mike. What up?
Yeah,
what up, peeps?
And we are flying straight at you. This is the Broken Battery Podcast. This is where we insert audience applause, but we don't need applause for what we're doing because we're bringing you the facts about our opinions like we do every week about everything pop culture, from movies to music to video games to TV shows to books. I mean, I'm not quite sure people read books anymore, but
what's a fucking book?
It's that thing they make audio versions of it, and you sit there and listen to it. Yeah, the things without the pop.
I read a book just recently. I was pissed I didn't buy the audio version. I was like, fuck, why didn't I just buy the audio version? I could be driving in my car, reading a book, quote unquote.
Yes. I love how people listen to audiobooks. They're like, oh, I read that. I'm like, you didn't read that. You listened to that.
I wonder if that stat still counts if it's the audio version, because I read a stat one time and I'm not sure how accurate this is now, but like if you read a book one book a month, you're in the top like 10% of the world.
Top percent of the world. Well, I mean, does it say what size book?
Nope. It just says a book a month.
A book a month?
Basically, people don't fucking read. That's what it is. Which, if you look on social media, that's completely true.
Well, I can believe it with half the stuff that I hear people say in social media.
People are dumb.
People are dumb. But we are not dumb. At least I don't think we are. But then again, that's our opinion.
I like to think I'm fucking smart.
I like to think I'm smart too. But
my wife disagrees, but I digress.
Yeah, well. I can neither say nothing about that nor confirm it, but you seem like a pretty smart guy to me because you agree with me half the time.
There we go.
It's like
25.
Anyway,
30%.
We are the Broken Battery Podcast, the pop culture podcast, to be more specific. And today's topic, well, before we get into today's topic, I'm going to start doing a new segment called Spotlight. Spotlight's about a certain type of media or a creator that I think people should really watch or take it in. Like me and Mike were talking about audiobooks a few minutes ago. We're going to pick a certain thing out of pop culture, out of all the genres, and Mike is looking at me very confused right now because he's not quite sure what we're going to talk about.
He likes to do this shit to me.
Yes, but I'm just going to go off of the cusp now because I'm going to start the ball rolling on this, and he doesn't necessarily need to chime in with his pick of the week, but my pick of the week is, if you get a chance, go on Amazon Prime and watch Invincible. It's based off the comic book by Robert Kirkman, who also made The Walking Dead. Yes.
All right. I'm thinking. I just saw that on my Amazon.
Yes, I would suggest you watch it.
On my brother's Amazon account.
Nobody's got their own Amazon account.
I mean, somebody's got to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got that focal point. You can do
shout out to my peeps that I stream from. I also give back. So it's an equal opportunity streaming cheating service.
That's fine. Just like Netflix.
I've never had a Netflix. I've had Netflix for like 12 years.
I've
never had an account.
Oh, I know. I know this.
Shout out to Orlando. He's a real superhero.
Yeah, you're giving back to the community, sir.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Not all heroes wear capes, but most of the cool ones wear capes. But anyway, Invincible is based off of a comic book that came out about 10 years ago, made by Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fame. He made the Walking Dead comic book as well. He was a producer on the show. And a quick synopsis on the character. Invincible is the adolescent son of the world's greatest superhero in this universe, and it's how he's dealing with it because he just came into his powers. Very good.
Superman's got a kid?
Basically, Superman's got a kid, but it's different than that, and you'll be thanking me once you start watching this, Mike.
You just said greatest superhero, so I was like...
Well, I didn't say greatest superhero. I said in that universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think... little spoiler, his dad's name's Omni-Man. And he is an analogy for Superman because, let's face it, all of the badass characters are based off of Superman. Do yourself a favor, watch it. Do not watch it with small children because there are swear words and the fucking action is brutal.
Well, if you're a normal parent or pay any type of attention, there will be a rating system.
Mature.
So yeah, you're like, you can be like, oh, my kid can watch this. It's cool. No, you gotta fucking pay attention, parents. Get your shit together. Jesus Christ.
Put your boots on. Open your eyes.
Don't let your 5-year-old play GTA.
And yeah, don't. I mean, unless you want them to learn the key way to get your money is to go to the hooker first, get what you need. Once they get out of the car, run her over, beat her up, or run her over, and then steal the money back.
Yeah, I did that the first time I played. I was like, wait a minute. I wonder if I can. Oh shit, I could beat up the hooker.
Oh yeah,
get my money back.
That was GTA 3, I think. That's when the first time I played.
That was the first
time.
That
mechanic.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, that was the spotlight on a show for this week was that. Okay, but the main topic today is something that's near and dear to me is spoof movies, particularly how they seem to have disappeared. Like there are no good spoof movies.
Well, they should disappear.
Well, no, they shouldn't disappear. The good ones should be made again, Mike.
Yeah, but they're too busy remaking movies instead of spoofing movies.
Right. I'm just saying exactly. That's an excellent point you just made. They're remaking films, but I mean, a lot of this stuff is just ripe for parody, and it's ripe for parody. All these like remakes are.
Yeah. They should do a spoof or a parody on the remakes of remakes.
That's what I think. I actually started writing
like
a movie
an
script.
Inception.
I started writing a movie script.
Just do a spoof of Inception that Inceptions you
that's a great,
into
Inception into watching a crappy ass remake. Oh, that's how we do it. But anyway, we're going to talk about the past, the present, and the possible future of the spoof, and how the fine art of the spoof and satire has disappeared. And it's a couple of different things that have caused this to disappear. And yeah.
Stupid people.
I'm not going to say the W word, though. That woke culture. There we go. I said it. Yeah. Woke culture.
No, that's not it.
Well, I mean, it's just people getting offended over everything. Let's face it. If you can't laugh at yourself, you have no right in laughing at other people. You can't do it. And
I laugh at myself twice a day.
I laugh at you a lot, Mike.
It's like masturbation.
It's like masturbation until the bang flag comes out.
Yeah.
What is that line from Futurama? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised. Anywho, so we're gonna okay. The difference there's a difference between satire and a spoof. Okay, satire to me is not a spoof. Satire is something that isn't zany.
Like an ode to, maybe?
Like an ode to satire. You know, it actually has a coherent plot. Well, Spoof's got a coherent plot, but it has a plot that's semi-serious, but it's funny, and it's kind of ribbing on something.
So, for context, and I'm asking so that I understand, what, like, Scream would maybe be like
yeah,
Scream is like an ode to,
but it's not funny, but no, absolutely it's a satire.
There's funny parts.
It's funny parts in it, but it's a horror movie, and it's satire of the horror film.
But it was like an ode to horror films.
Absolutely,
like that's the guys doing it were ode.
Yeah, they were doing it. I mean, like Scream is by far it reinvigorated horror movies in the '90s. It's beautiful, and I mean I can't
it had
gush.
Chicks.
It had chicks. Yeah, Mike mentioned, it's just chicks, man. Yeah, we get it. Had chicks.
I like chicks.
I like chicks too, but we're talking about the art here. Did you honestly think Drew Barrymore was going to die?
Yeah.
I didn't think she was going to die when I first saw it. I'm like, I know her from stuff. She's not going to die.
Who is the one that's in the trying to get out of the garage?
The doggy door?
Yeah. That's
Rose McGowan.
Rose McGowan, yes. I was like, wait.
And I'm like, well, something? I can't really fault her on that one because, I mean, if I was in that situation, there's a dude with a knife, and I was a woman that was 100 pounds less than the guy, and I see this doggy door, and I'm like, but then again, I don't think the doggy door would have killed her when
when it lifted. Yeah,
I don't think that would have killed her.
Well, first of all, I'm well bigger than Rose McGowan, and
Yes,
I
you
would
are.
have tried to get out of it. I would have been like, "Fuck it, I'm going through that."
You
right?
would have been like Winnie the Pooh.
I'd have asked the dude for a push though.
Yeah.
Like when it was lifting up, I would have reached my head down, but like, "Yo, can you help me out?"
I'm halfway up, all right? You might as well just cut my throat right now because this is excruciating. But I honestly don't think it would have killed her.
No, because garage doors break pretty fucking easily.
Yes, I mean, like
pretty
every
easily.
garage door I've ever seen, it like breaks, and
All
it's
of
like
them.
shit.
Yeah. A strong little bar that held the 120-pound Rose McGowan.
Absolutely.
Bottom of the doggy door.
Yep. And then like nobody heard it inside the house. But we're picking apart a movie, a great movie. You could pick apart anything. So we did pick it apart a little bit, but it's a great.
Still good. We talked about how it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie, like satire, great satire.
Yes.
You know.
So I was just like I said, for context, I was like, okay, I think that he means this type of movie, and that's why I asked.
Right. Exactly. No, absolutely. Because spoofs are primarily comedy. I can't think of a spoof that's of something that is like serious. Satire focuses more on like I'm paying an homage to this, or I'm referencing something that I love. It can be funny. It cannot be funny. I mean, it's just that's the main difference. So if anybody was a little confused on that, I mean, hopefully it was cleared up for you.
I'm waiting for you. Go ahead. I thought of something in my mind that I want to bring up at some point here. So I was like, I'm going to forget with my ADD. So
Yeah,
let me make a mental note here.
Why, I know. There's cars going by, and Mike's like, ooh, there's a car by. See,
Wow, noise, grab a
Amazon. So, another. I'm now that we were thinking about it, like, see, to me, spoofs. The first spoof movie I ever saw goes back to, I think, the all-time master of spoofs, Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks, yeah.
Mel Brooks.
I think Spaceballs was the first one
mine was Blazing Saddles.
I saw Blazing Saddles, but I think I saw Spaceballs first. Being my age, and you're a little younger than me.
Yeah, I'm a little younger. Yeah, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know which one it is.
Blazing Saddles because I had to learn about Mel Brooks, like watching Spaceballs and everything that he did. I was like, oh, he made that. Let me go back and watch that because that one was a little before my time in the sense of mixing.
Yeah. But the thing about this, like, thing with spoofs are, Mel Brooks' spoofs. Like obviously, I saw it when I was really little because my dad was watching it, and it has excellent cultural commentary that I don't think now. I think a lot of people get offended now, but then I'm surprised it has been canceled already. But it shouldn't be because it's very the jokes are on point, and it's what I call a timeless classic, especially with humor. But I saw that not necessarily like I didn't understand because I never watched a lot of cowboy stuff when I was little. So and it was obviously a spoof of cowboy westerns and stuff.
Yeah, you've got to go back and kind of learn.
But then I saw Spaceballs, like you said. The other first you saw Spaceballs.
Fantastic.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, it just made fun of Star Wars. It made fun of everything with sci-fi.
Yes, everything's sci-fi.
And even the part where it made fun of Alien at the very end when he did the Michigan J. Frog and Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, when the alien popped out. And they actually used John Hurt. John Hurt was in Spaceballs, the same guy that died in Alien. I love that. I love that actors
didn't know that.
Yeah. Actors can poke fun at their own roles. Amazing. I just think it's outstanding. And
it's a nice little
right.
Fit, boom.
But no, the thing is, Mel Brooks really doesn't make things anymore. But like, there's a whole list of movies. Like, if we forget one,
he's
still alive.
Is he really? Like,
he's in
I was
his
like,
90s.
it sounded ignorant, but I was like, shit, is Mel Brooks still alive?
Yeah, I know. It's
good for him.
Yeah, no, yeah. I learned all kinds of interesting facts about this guy. He was in World War II. He diffused mines.
Fuck that.
That's pretty BA.
Is there an amount of money that you get paid?
Not the amount the Army's going to pay me.
like
Well, anyway, look, we got this bomb. All right.
I'm not big on the idea like if you do this wrong, you're dead. Because I like to fuck up everything like the first time. It doesn't matter what it is.
Well, I agree. I think that I learn the best by failing at first and then doing it again, and then you getting better at it. Mines, Defusing bombs, you kind of got to have a really good track record on that.
Like you're not 0 for 1.
It's like, oh man,
if you are, you're 0 for 1, and that's it.
Yeah, just like it's like joining a Russian roulette competition. You're like, I might be good at it, and well, we're gonna find out. And that's like something you can't be good at, though. But I digress. And he said this really awesome thing that he did. He said that one night during World War II, he was on like the bank of a river, and he heard like German soldiers like on the other side, and they were like singing a German song. And like when they got to a specific part, he clapped to go along with the song, just to try and fuck with them. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. That's pretty damn cool. I mean, they got brass balls on him, man. And he put out some of the funniest stuff. Like I don't know if you, like I said, if we miss one of the movies that he did, feel free to send us a message. Say, hey, you missed this, but this is stuff that I've seen, and like I might have not seen his entire collection, but I've seen a decent amount of it.
But also don't, because we're not wrong.
We're like, okay. So we already mentioned Blazing Saddles. We mentioned Spaceballs, History of the World Part 1. It's one of my favorites right there. The 10 Chairs. I don't know a lot of people have seen that, but I know people have seen it. It's funny. I
don't think I've seen that one.
He did Silent Movie, and that movie has the best punchline because he made a silent film, and it was funny. And the only person that talked in the fucking movie was the mime. What else? He did Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, such a good one.
It was good.
I was like, God, there's one. Oh, yep.
Yep. He did The Producers, and then he did the remake of his own movie, The Producers, in which, to me, that is the quintessential remake right there. Like, if you remake your own movie, you got knows.
It says he's the executive producer of a movie coming out this year.
Really? What is it?
Blazing Samurai.
Blazing Samurai?
It looks like a cartoon-ish.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I know he did the voice in Hotel Transylvania. I think the second one, he was like Grandpa Vlad. He was like the really super scary old vampire. He was also in High Anxiety, and that was not only a spoof but also a great satire because it was paying ode to all the old Alfred Hitchcock movies, like The Birds and Vertigo and things like that. So I mean, I'll do a quick shout out and another spotlight. If you haven't seen a lot of Mel Brooks movies, do yourself a favor and watch High Anxiety because I saw that later on. It was really good.
Yeah, it's from '77, but before our time.
Yeah, it's before our time, but
not to age us, but you know.
Yeah, but like his stuff just is consistent. Like you can watch it now, but it's still laugh at it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because Men in Tights, Spaceballs, that shit's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is. What else did he do?
I'm actually looking through his stuff right now, just out of curiosity. It's actually funny because some stuff he's like, it shows him at like executive producer, but uncredited. He's like producer of The Fly.
The Fly?
Yeah.
Are you talking like the Jeff Goldblum one?
Yeah.
Oh, that movie fucked me up.
Yeah.
That's like the best example of like creature effects ever.
The Elephant Man.
This is all stuff this is things that this man has done
that were uncredited.
So I think, was he protecting his name when it comes to comedy? Because I think that's cool. I think that's really cool that he can branch off in different things. He's a producer, and like those movies were choice. Like obviously he bet a winning horse on those.
Yeah. He was in Hotel Transylvania, by the way. Yes.
Right. And one thing I want to make mention is because we're going to be talking about all the good spoofs, but like how they kind of fell off. And one thing you can say about Mel Brooks and the other good spoof movies that we have seen is their humor is kind of timeless. Like it's not dated. It's not dated humor, because I think that's where a lot of these new spoof movies lose me, because all their humor is fucking dated. You got to know about a specific thing. Oh, okay, that's funny then. Like I don't know. You ever seen that really crappy movie Meet the Spartans?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. And okay, both satire and spoof, because it's paying homage to the movie 300 by Zack Snyder.
I would say that's paying homage.
It's trying to do straight up spoof.
Yeah, that's not satire.
So anyway, there's a part where it shows Britney Spears sitting there, and she's got a baby. It's not Britney Spears. It's somebody pretending to be Britney Spears. And she's like shaving her head. Like, remember when she went nanners like years ago? So tell me something. How am I going to reference that if I never knew about it?
I'm okay. So you lose argument there because I mean, Spaceballs. You're gonna have to see like Star Wars.
No, I don't. No, I won't because I was.
Because it was still just funny.
It was just funny. Yeah. Like a good spoof, you don't necessarily need to see the original content that's ripping on.
For sure. Okay, I see your point.
Like
there.
for instance, we're gonna talk about the movie Airplane, which besides Mel Brooks is my all-time favorite spoof movie.
Really?
Airplane is hilarious.
Airplane's good.
And it makes fun of a movie called 0 Hour.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was inspired by the 1956 Canadian TV movie Flight into Danger as well. It followed the plot of the drama from 1957 called 0 Hour. So it was a combination of the two movies. So I didn't need to see that movie. I've never seen it before, but to me, Airplane was fucking hilarious. Is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I thank God the movie was funny because hearing what it was based off of was
sounds awful.
Yeah, I was falling asleep.
Yeah. I just do stuff. And now these Percocets.
As we take a drink, both of us at the same time.
So yeah, Airplane, and then the sequel was good. And that's the thing is I actually, my niece, when she turned 10, I let her watch Airplane. I don't know if that makes me a bad uncle.
Not much worse.
Yeah.
Put on MTV now or something like that. That'd be worse.
What's MTV?
What's this? It's this channel that used to play music videos.
Yeah, okay. So she watched it and she laughed very hard at that movie. And I'm like, oh, cool. Right on. She understood it. And so you can't say it's generational or it's something. Oh, it's just that type of humor. No, it's timeless humor.
Yeah.
So it. And then from there, like let's for instance, Hot Shots.
Hot Shots or Hot Shots Part 2.
Both of them are great.
They are great.
Both of them are amazing because they're funny and again.
They're just
like number 2. They do a mockery of Saddam Hussein, and some kids born after like 98 won't really understand who Saddam Hussein is. They're like, oh, who's the guy?
I'm sure you hear about him in history class.
But it's not more prevalent like it was for people growing up in the 90s.
I mean, he's in South Park, the movie, and he's in.
Yeah, that's not a spoof, but that's kind of.
I'm just mentioning,
what he's in.
Character of Saddam Hussein.
Right, because again, my niece watched it, didn't know who the hell that guy was.
Still found it funny.
See? Because I mean, like you said, again, getting at some commonality. But you go back to. Sorry. But you go back to something crappy like Date Movie. Date Movie.
Like you talked about the Sparta one and Date Movie, and you can go back to like, not to like go through what we're gonna be talking about here, but Epic Movie and all these real terrible ones. Like, I feel like those are to blame for one, like, Not Another Teen Movie, great spoof movie.
Yeah,
and that's like the one that started that little.
It was the same producers on all these movies.
But how do you have one like Not Another Teen Movie is so fucking hilarious, like, you've got to kind of. I think it does stick to your theory though. Like, even if I haven't seen the other movies, Can't Hardly Wait and
Varsity Blues.
Yes, and then what's the one with Freddie Prinze Jr. and
She's All That.
She's All That. That's what I was trying to think of. Like, if you haven't seen all those, it's still funny. Like, she falls down the stairs,
I think in that movie one of the funniest running gags they do. They're talking about because the girl's obviously beautiful, the lead in it.
Yeah,
I don't know her name, but they're like. What, her? And all she did was she had her hair in a ponytail and she had overalls on with paint on it.
Yeah, it has the sister who's playing the character of Sarah Michelle Gellar from Cruel Intentions.
Oh, yeah, Cruel Intentions. That was like, when I was a kid, I was like that one scene. And you say about Cruel Intentions, you're like, that one
There's
scene.
There's like 10 scenes. Like,
no, that
I jerked off to that movie all the time.
Yes, I agree, but when you say that one scene in that movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes. You're talking about the kissing.
The kissing
Yes.
scene between
And
Sarah
they-
Michelle
and they had
Gellar,
that-
who was my crush, and Selma Blair.
Yes. But that movie references all that stuff, and you don't need to see it to still find it funny. And then it went all downhill after
Yeah.
that.
What was that one? What's that movie with Drew Barrymore where she was pretending to be a student?
Oh, God. Fuck. Oh, Never Been Kissed.
Never Been
I
Kissed.
can't believe I know that.
Yeah, I'm not looking at you strange or anything, Mike, but
I've seen a lot of romantic comedies, let's be honest.
see, Mike's my resident go-to for rom-coms because I haven't. I've seen some, but not as many.
I've sadly seen a lot. It's okay.
Well, you've always been in a relationship. That's what it is.
Always.
You're
That's
that
why.
relationship guy. You always go
Don't
to rom-coms.
Stupid. No, my favorite in that movie, first of all, because at that time I was a big Good Charlotte fan.
Oh God, yeah. Go ahead.
Like the first two albums of Good Charlotte, and then they like fucking sold out and sucked.
Yeah, it's usually the case.
But the first two albums were fucking awesome, and they're like the singers in the prom or homecoming, whatever it is, and they're singing that the "Put Your Heads on My Shoulders." Because they got the two conjoined twins.
Oh yeah.
Instead of put my head on your shoulder, they put your heads on my shoulder. Fucking cracked me up. They also did a version of "If You Leave" that's fucking awesome. By the way, cover of OMD.
Oh, nice.
It's a good version actually. So,
I believe it.
but anyways,
Yeah. So the thing is the producers on that movie, and I'm not going to name their names because they know what they did wrong.
they suck balls now.
Yes, because then they decided to just do spoof after attempted spoof of shit.
It's like they got a check for one movie, and the movie company's like, "All right, make us 10 more."
Yeah, but I
And
mean,
they're like, okay.
it wasn't every producer on it because I remember a couple of them got billed as 2 out of the 5 producers that brought you Not Another Teen Movie brings you this, and like what was it, Epic Movie, where they just
those get all bad. Like,
yeah
they're not even worth. Like, can we just chalk them up as bad and then not really like?
yeah.
There's not much to even talk about with them. I know Carmen Electra was in like one of them. That was cool.
Yeah, I think she was Mystique. No, she was in a couple of them.
Well, she was in the Scream parodies also. I think
she was in the Scream parodies, but
because she was Drew Barrymore in the Scream.
Scary Movie.
Scary? Yeah,
but Scary Movie's a good one. Okay, Scary is a good one. Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, and even 4. Once Charlie Sheen left the franchise, because he wasn't in the first one, I don't believe, but he showed up in 2, 3, and 4, and say what you will about his tiger blood and all the stuff that he acted like a
fucking winning.
He acting like a whack job, but he is very good. He has very good comedic timing, and he's a good actor.
Possibly should be in jail, basically.
Possibly, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Fuck awkward. He did nail some porn stars though.
Yeah, I don't know if that adds like that doesn't give him like a pass.
No. It's not like do one bet like rape a teenage boy.
Yeah.
And sleep with a porn star. It's like, oh well, bygones are bygones.
I didn't hear about him raping a teenage boy.
You didn't?
No.
The Coreys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Corey. What's the one that's alive? That's a wag that keeps insisting Feldman. Right? No.
Oh yeah, the guy that had the really bad band. I don't know if you ever saw the video of him.
Yeah, is it Corey? Is it Feldman?
Yeah, it's Corey Feldman. Corey Haim died.
Yeah, he's talking about he raped Corey Haim is what Corey Feldman says.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Dude, you know what though? All this shit that you hear about, all the shit that's going on, it's almost scary. It's like, no, that can't be true. And then you look at the shit and you're like, damn. Like I fucking love Tom Hanks, but
then you hear like but it's rumors, okay? So we can neither confirm
we're not
deny.
Confirming. Yeah, we're not.
We're just this is shit
all
we
I'm
hear.
saying. All I'm saying is shit's when you know.
Yes. So getting back to it, so the scary movies, they were good. One I found fucking hilarious because I loved the fact that Scream was a satire and they decided to do a spoof of a satire.
Spoof of a satire. Yep.
And they kind of just stuck with the plot line of Scream. They didn't add anything to it. But I mean that's what worked for them. And then they did 2, which kind of made fun of what like all the haunted like the Haunting of Hill House. No, Haunting of Hill House came after that. I messed up right there. The second Scary Movie.
It was like Poltergeist, right?
It made fun of Poltergeist because I remember the part with the clown.
Yeah.
And it also made fun of like it threw something.
She's in the bed. Is that two?
No, it was the.
She's got the giant bush and.
That was number one.
Oh, was it one? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, these have been out a while ago.
Number 2 is the one with the clown.
Okay.
And it was the one Wayne's brother that was in there, and he did there were gay jokes in it, and he was Ray, and he played a gay character, but he wasn't gay. He did the ambiguous joke on there, which to some people it's funny, and some people might get offended. I find it funny. Okay.
Yeah.
So they threw Poltergeist in there. They threw a little bit of Charlie's Angels, even though it's not any type of scary movie. But that's what a good spoof does. It
was pop culture at the time. I mean, they had just recently done those remake movies, and
yeah, not the most recent remake. We're talking the remake with like Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. Lucy Liu.
And Lucy Liu.
What's the other ones on shit?
And like The Haunting. They made fun of The Haunting.
Yeah.
And then they go into number 3, and I'm not quite sure what number 3 was about. I don't remember Scary Movie 3 all that much.
Me neither. Yeah,
Number 4, they made fun of War of the Worlds. And like they made fun of the War of the Worlds and a lot of the sci-fi stuff. And I had one of those moments where like 4 wasn't as good as the first 3. But
you said that for a lot of things, like
yes, but it had one of the best things ever. Is this inept dad was splitting starter wood? I don't know why I found that hilarious. He's just sitting out there whamming away with an axe on starter wood. C'est la vie. It's the little things in movies that usually get me.
Yeah, well, that's why they like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah,
that shit's so like.
Oh, the part when they're doing shadow puppets?
Just shadow puppet. Like Dave Chappelle, right? Is Achu, is that his name?
Yeah, dude, when he was the son of a sneeze.
And then he is blind. He's like, I'm black?
No, he said, you didn't see to say I'm black. No, he wasn't blind. It was the butler. It was the servant of Robin Hood. It was Blinken.
That's right. Yeah, Blinken. Yeah, that's right.
Did you just say, hey, Blinken? I didn't say, hey, Blinken. I said, hey, Blinken. Things like that. Hilarious. And it's funny, you see some of these actors that are in these movies, and they show up in little things that are like later on down the line. Like my nieces used to watch Good Luck Charlie. I don't know what was that. I think it was Nickelodeon, or it was on
something like that. Yeah.
Disney. It was on Disney.
Yeah.
And the guy that played Little John, that was on he was on Robin Hood Men in Tights. He's the dad on there. And
oh, really?
I'm like, oh,
hey, I know him.
Hey, I know that guy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's the guy that he started drowning in a tiny little puddle.
Well, it's like, I mean, that movie, what's it? Carl Eloise, is that his name?
Carrie Eloise?
Carrie, yeah.
Yeah, the guy from Princess Bride.
Yeah, it's from Princess Bride. He's played almost the same character.
Like that's
he's like playing a spoof of himself.
Yeah, it was
an inception.
It's an inception. It's an inception on an enigma. Yeah. But no, Carrie Eloise, I mean, like Princess Bride, for instance, it's not a spoof, but it's kind of satire.
It's kind of satire.
The satire of high fantasy, like magic wizards and stuff like that. Because
Once Upon a Time,
stuff like that. Yeah,
Never Ending Story. And...
Yeah, it's not a spoof, but it's good satire, and it's a great movie. I love The Princess Bride. I watched it a bunch of times when I was little. I'll watch it every once in a while. I mean, you can't say Aldo Montoya.
If it's on, I'll watch it.
You can't say Montoya. Whenever you hear the name Montoya, you gotta do that.
5 movies that it doesn't matter what channel it's on, like a TBS.
You just gotta stop and watch them.
Like that one was one. Roadhouse. I still always fucking
Roadhouse.
love Roadhouse.
Stupidest lines ever.
But it's so
Pain don't hurt. I'm like, oh god. Yeah, I get it. You're a badass. Thanks, Swayze.
Be nice till it's time to not be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Although it did have one of the most hardcore lines I've ever heard in a movie.
Yes, go ahead.
And I would be afraid. And I know there's tough gay people out there. I get it, okay? But when somebody says, I used to fuck guys like you in prison, I'm going to get a little nervous. I'm like, he's really sure of himself, too.
Yeah, that is quite a line.
Yeah. But getting back to The Princess Bride, that's a good satire, not necessarily a spoof.
Yeah, it's not a spoof. Yeah, I wouldn't
But
consider it a spoof.
then you go to Robin Hood Men in Tights, and it's a great spoof.
Yeah.
It's a great spoof, and like because it's over the top stuff. They like it's stuff that you wouldn't expect in a narrative to show up, like Maid Marian wearing a chastity belt that says Everlast. Yeah.
It's the little things. It's
Yeah,
attention to
it's
detail.
a little attention to detail. And like moving from there, another great 3 movies that were based off of a TV show that was exactly like Spoof and made fun of all these procedural cop stuff.
Police Academy.
Not Police Academy. No, that was satire. That's not Spoof. I'm talking about The Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah, Naked Gun.
The Naked Gun is based off of a TV show starring Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Called Police Squad.
Yep.
And like I didn't even know about Police Squad before I saw the Naked Gun movies.
Dude. And fucking OJ's in them.
Yeah, and OJ's in these movies. And I'm like, they just add so much more to them now that after what happened to OJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking OJ's in there and he's always getting hurt and shit. And
Yeah.
like, at the time you're like, oh, OJ's getting hurt. We love OJ. And then you watch it like 10 years later, you're like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, why is he pulling out a gun? I figured just pull out a knife.
Yeah, those are good ones. I was thinking sports. I watch a lot of sports movies. I probably watched every sports movie in my life. Here's like, do you think the Major League movies
Satire.
really?
Satire or just straight up comedy?
I think they're yeah. I mean,
because they're
But
not making fun of tropes. See, to me, like satires and spoofs make fun of tropes. Okay,
yeah, all right.
The spoofs to me turn the tropes on their head and take stuff out of the ordinary and throw them in there. Like at the very end of Blazing Saddles, when they're riding off in the sunset, they stop and they get in a fucking Buick and drive the rest of the way. Or they're fighting across all these movie sets.
Yeah, okay. I love the Major League movies. It's just,
Oh, yeah, Major League. No, I like 1 and 2. I like 1 and 2. I watched Back to the Minors.
Back to the Minors. Okay,
I'm good.
That was fucking terrible.
It was very bad.
It had, the catcher, though?
It had Rube Baker in it.
Rube
Rube Baker was the best add-on in number 2.
Right. You didn't like Parker?
No. I like Parkman because he was a bad guy. I mean,
Parkman, yeah.
Parkman was a dick.
That's what I liked about it. Was like they had this asshole guy.
And I'm like, oh, Wesley Snipes, what were you doing that was so great that
and
you
he
could be number 2?
and Eubank, Bob Euchre's like, oh, they love that here. And then Chairman's like, they hate that here.
Well, Bob Euchre made...
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't make them, but they were great. And guess what? Charlie Sheen was in those too, and he was good comedic
timing. A lot of spoof shit, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a spoof, though. It's straight up good comedy.
Yeah.
He's better at comedy than he was for any type of like serious stuff, except for maybe Wall Street.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was mostly...
But Wall Street was just a beautiful written movie.
I liked a lot. Sadly, a lot of shit he did, like, even oh god, what was that Mayor movie?
It's a TV show.
TV show, yeah.
Spin City.
Spin City. I fucking loved Spin City, and I love Michael J. Fox, and he replaced him, obviously.
Yeah, but that was a good replacement.
But I didn't mind him. It was one of those where it's like
you have to get somebody of equal or greater talent.
You can't go Charlie Sheen to like Ashton Kutcher.
No, we're not. Yeah, I'm good. But we're not talking about TV shows here.
I know.
We're talking about
Spin City was great.
Spoofs. And and the thing is, The Naked Gun, like I didn't know Leslie Nielsen was like a serious actor before he did those. Like he usually played like a hard ass or leading man or a villain. Like I don't know if you ever saw Creepshow.
No.
He played a fucking nut job in Creepshow, and I'm like, that's the guy. That's the guy from Naked Gun. What the fuck?
It's great. Like, I love those. Like, first of all, like Priscilla Presley, so fucking hot. Right?
Yeah.
And then Anna Nicole Smith is in the third one.
Was Priscilla Presley in The Naked Gun?
Yeah, she's the love interest.
Or is it Jamie Presley?
No, it's Elvis's
wife.
Yeah.
No shit. I did not know that. Wow.
So hot. Yeah, that's like Jane. That's Jane, if I'm not mistaken.
Look it up.
The main female character.
Yeah, but I know Anna Nicole Smith. She's the one.
So hot.
Yeah, but they did that scene with the shadow outline, and he threw up in a tuba.
She's so hot though. She
was.
Yeah,
so
Priscilla
hot.
Presley. She was Jane.
No shit.
Yeah, she was hot.
So, and that just shows you don't need to have a lot of acting chops to be in a spoof movie. Okay, you have to go to writing, and you have to have at least one good person with good acting chops, because they can carry it.
Yeah, because she wasn't in a whole lot.
No, she was just in it for like, hey, I'm here. Look at me.
She's not in a whole lot of movies, period, though, either.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, she's living off all those
14.
She's living off all those residuals, man. What do you expect? I mean,
she's in Spin City. The fuck was she in Spin City? She was in 2 episodes. I have to go back and find out.
In case you know, my friend Mike here is very obsessed with Spin City.
I liked that show. I liked Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, well, as did I. I can't think of anything.
That's the last book I bought, actually. We were just talking about books, making fun of books. I just bought that book.
Did you buy a book or the audio
I
book?
bought the book. No, I haven't read it yet. But it's the last book I bought. I digress.
Yeah, I bought the book because my one table leg's really wobbly, so I needed to earn it out.
I bought 2 books in the last couple of months. I read one was a memoir about a porn star that I'm a big fan of. I read that one.
Really?
I didn't read the Michael J. Fox one yet. I was more interested in I should have got the audio version because she does the audio in it, and that would have been.
I remember when I was really young, before I understood the concept of stage names, and I'm like, wow, all these people have really cool names. Wow, like Brick Majors. Wow, who would name their kid Brick Majors? That's badass. Max Steel. Wow, they're like superheroes.
Jesus Christ.
Gonna have to edit that out. That Jesus Christ.
I can't say Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're gonna avoid that.
Right.
Or not. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Uncut version. We'll sell the uncut version.
The uncut. too hot for podcasts. This one.
Mike's ridiculously.
Mike did the entire podcast naked.
I wouldn't do. It's too cold in here. It's too cold in here.
That's kind of the point. So, anyway, so that's pretty much how we feel about, like spoof movies and satire movies that are on the good end, and we did touch on bad stuff.
I don't want to go too much into the bad because they're so fucking bad. Like, I'm not gonna talk a half hour about.
Well, yeah, they're so bad that I don't see any of them now.
That's because they're bad.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Nobody's been making new ones.
Because they've been bad lately and they're not selling. If they're not selling, I mean, you're not having somebody come up with something. I mean, you could. I mean, pop culture is crazy right now. There's so much you could make fun of right now. But you would offend 40% of the country.
That's fine as long as the other 60 watch
That's true. I wrote down a movie because I was there's 2 of them actually, but I was curious and like, do you consider the first one maybe like a satire? And then maybe the second one, a spoof of the first one, would be Gremlins and Gremlins 2.
No.
Because those are 2 completely different fucking movies.
Yes.
Like, Gremlins was fucking scary.
No, Gremlins is scary.
Maybe when it came out, like, I was younger, and then Gremlins 2 came.
Oh, it fucked with me.
But, like, then you had all these, like, fucking Gremlins with, like, personalities, and only a couple were bad.
No, they're all pretty much bad.
Were they?
Yeah, dude, no, like, Gizmo was the only one that wasn't a dick. Even when they were Mogwai, because they were assholes when they were Mogwai too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say either one are a satire or spoof.
But they weren't really killing people in the second one like they were the first one.
Well, they had to tone it down because I think the first one scared a lot of fucking people. I remember one scene in particular with Gremlins when that miserable old person was on that fucking elevator chair going up, and the Gremlins started doing that singing, and they fucking shot him out the window. Fucked me up. I was like, no, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah,
I'm done.
But that's what, like, they're 2 completely different fucking movies. So I was like, God.
No, they're about the Gremlins. I don't think they're really about different.
Right.
They I mean, Gremlins 2, they threw them into a genetics lab, and like a lot of them got transformed bodies, and like one became pure electricity, and
one of the guys that was like the big boss in that building was, I think his name is John Glover.
Yeah, he's in a lot of shit. He was in Smallville.
Smallville is Lex Luthor's dad.
Yeah,
Lionel Luthor. Such a fucking asshole.
Alliterated names.
Yeah,
Jesus.
He was a shithole dad. Like,
yeah, he was a real cock.
Yeah. So I was like, it's fucking Lionel Luthor. I want to punch him in his fucking face.
You're ruining your son. I know what he does.
Much easier the world would be for Superman if you weren't such a bad dad.
He might actually have been Superman's friend. And I know for a fact that he has cured cancer before, because he said he's cured it, and that he doesn't want to give it to anybody. dick.
So, and we mentioned it earlier, and I wanted to right now just bring it in as a good spoof would be Lego Batman. But like,
Oh yeah, no, that's a great
like
spoof movie.
the Lego movies in general, but the Lego Batman, it's so fucking.
Oh no,
funny.
I went to the movies and seen it.
Oh, so and my youngest is into that movie, and he went through like a good 6-month period, just walking around going, no, I don't want to, no, no, and then and the music, the soundtrack from that movie, you wouldn't even realize it's fucking hilarious. But he's obsessed with them, so he's got like a song like it's a rock song. It's like dun dun dun. Dark brooding,
Yeah.
No parents.
Yep.
And my son will walk around in the store at fucking Target or wherever trying to go, and he'd be like, duh, no parents. I'm an orphan. Or I think it's the Lego movie too, where he'll be like, everything's not awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Well, he's like, I finally understand Radiohead. He's 4 and he does this shit in the middle of a fucking store.
Well, the Lego movie is just a straight up comedy.
Yeah.
But Batman,
Lego
Batman
is a parody of the Batman movie.
and like any like that Lego Ninjago, over the Lego Ninjago movie. That's a parody, I think, of Asian, like Japanese, like ninja movies and stuff.
I have no clue.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it is.
It is funny that I think the main boy character in the Ninjago, and I think his name is Lloyd.
Yeah, it's Lloyd.
And the dad calls him Lloyd.
Lloyd.
He pronounces his own kid's name. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm evil. Okay, that's what I do. I conquer things. I'm glad you brought up Lego Batman because I mean, me and my girlfriend were the only ones to just sit. I mean, I think we're the only adults without any children.
Dude, I saw that fuck yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah, I sat there, watched the whole thing, and I was actually getting mad at the kids talking. But I'm like, I'm the asshole on this one. All right.
Yeah.
I'm the asshole because I was getting mad because kids were talking. But I went in to see Lego Batman.
Yeah.
So that makes me the dick on this, and I want to apologize if I muttered under my breath or anything.
Did they make a second one? I'm trying to remember. Did they make a second Lego Batman?
No, I don't think they did. They made a second Lego movie.
I know they did. Let me see. Lego Batman 2. Oh no, it comes out next year. Fuck yeah.
There's more.
Its only crew right now is Will Arnett and Michael Cera. That's all it says.
Oh my god, Rosario Dawson didn't come back to reprise the role. Stop hitting your mic.
I know. I'm sorry. Stop. You're not supposed to do that.
Now, getting off of spoof movies in particular, like there's a show that's on Adult Swim, the Robot Chicken, which does spoof of everything. They actually kind of held on with doing good spoofs of stuff.
I don't watch that show.
Oh, well, you should.
I should, huh? All right.
Robot Chicken is hilarious. It's been on for years.
What did you say that, oh my God, what's the name of that fucking show? Seth MacFarlane.
Family Guy?
Isn't that kind of like a parody of everything?
It's satire. It's satire.
It's satire?
It's not spoof. It's not spoof. I don't think it's spoof.
They spoof a lot of stuff. I mean,
no, they do. No. Look, there are specific episodes in all these that they take.
The premise of the show is a satire, I would say.
Yeah, that's satire, but specific episodes. Oh no, but that's with a lot of TV shows. That's a whole nother ball of wax.
Oh yeah, Jesus, you're right. Because I mean, that '70s show has spoofed Star Wars and
yes,
you know,
Friends has spoofed it.
Yeah, Friends has spoofed everything.
Yes. They have.
And then everything is spoofed
Simpsons. And the Simpsons. Simpsons did it.
Everything is spoofed Friends since then.
You think so?
Well, okay, so I watch a lot of shows that would. So, like, How I Met Your Mother is a satire to...
Satire. Well, they even referenced it in a specific episode where they were sitting in a coffee house.
Yeah, they're like,
yep, that does it. Sitting in a bar is a lot more fun than sitting in a coffee house.
Right, and that's, I mean, the exact parallels of that. And I also found... New Girl a little bit too has used Friends.
Yeah, but I mean, all these were satire. Okay, these are all satire. Yeah. And what I'm getting at is there are no good spoof movies anymore. I'm like, yes, Family Guy, and a lot of animated stuff, a lot of kids stuff that you watch an episode of certain cartoons, they are spoofing a movie. And yeah.
Even Shrek is a little bit spoof.
It's satire. I would say it's more satire. No, they took it, and they took the whole fantasy thing and dumped it on its head by making the ogre like the hero.
Well, I mean, they have the Little Mermaid, kind of like, they have they're on the beach at the one point, and the tide rolls in, and it goes off, and it's Ariel kissing him, and she throws her, and
right. But I'm saying that's more satire because that fits into that world.
Okay, all right.
Not like like again, I'll reference like for instance, Spaceballs. Well, I can't really use Spaceballs because everything fit into that world, but it was Spoof because it was something totally off the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like where they reference Spaceballs, the merchandising, like merchandising, Spaceballs, the flamethrower, and I'm like, yep, this is Spoof.
Yep. They're spoofing their own.
God knows we'll all meet again in Spaceballs too. The quest for more money. And so yeah, TV shows will definitely do that, and they will satire other things, and yes, specific episodes will spoof other ones, but the whole art of the spoof when it comes to film, just to me is dead, because I think there's a couple of producers out there that got hit big with Not Another Teen Movie, and then just milled out,
just churned out bullshit.
Yeah, like Epic Movie, Date Movie.
Well, and I think that's the problem, that those have not succeeded.
Vampires Suck. God, that was awful.
So those have not. So who's going to greenlight one when they're not working right
exactly.
now? Like, you're going to have to just like the first Spider-Man movie.
X-Men.
Started. Yeah, but X-Men. Well, X-Men was Fox.
I know, but X-Men started the whole trend.
X-Men was after Spider-Man.
No, X-Men was before.
Spider-Man?
X-Men was before.
Was it?
Oh yeah, I remember it hit big, and then Spider-Man came out. And then they're like, we can make money off this, because if before then it was either Batman or Superman.
No, that's it. Yeah,
that was it. It was Batman or Superman, and people remember the Wonder Woman TV show. Oh no, yeah, superhero movie was a really god awful spoof also.
Yeah. But that's so like you need the success of one.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to have a low budget spoof movie that sells, and then that director will.
Yeah, but they got to like. It's also up to the director too, I think. It's up to the director, the writer, and the producers.
Well, you got to get the actors too.
The actors. The actors got to be able to carry it, but they gotta
Because we talk about these movies, but they had great actors, and I'm like, it's almost like sure, I'll do that movie too.
Yeah, like for instance, the last really bad satire movie I saw. I don't know if it was a satire or spoof. I want your opinion on that. Is that Holmes and Watson one with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell? I looked at it and I watched maybe 20 minutes of that.
That's just those guys trying to capitalize on the success of the couple movies they've done together. That's all that.
Well, I know, but it was a Sherlock Holmes, and it was making fun of Sherlock Holmes. And
so it's like a spoof off Robert Downey Jr.
Kind of, but or even just the stories themselves. So, and it was bad. I mean, like I usually like John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell.
I like John C. Reilly. I like Will Ferrell too. I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, so I mean, that's where I'm at with this. I mean, there has been attempts, but like I was getting at, like it's got to be the director, it's got to be the producers, it's got to be the writers to continuously churn the stuff out that's good. Because you notice, like you said, Mel Brooks was like a producer on other movies, but you notice he was hands-on with other things like Young Frankenstein. We didn't mention that.
Yeah, we didn't mention that.
Oh, yeah. Young Frankenstein. Oh, my God, I love that movie.
That was a good movie.
I'm really disappointed in myself for not having mentioned that already. And what was
I thought you mentioned it because I had it on my list, and I thought you'd said that one, but in hindsight you didn't. So.
But, and also, like, another one that Mel Brooks did was Dracula Dead and Loving It. And it has Leslie Nielsen in it from the Naked Gun franchise. And I don't think that movie gets enough love from about being a Mel Brooks movie. A lot of people overlook that one, and it's fucking hilarious.
I'm sure he's doing okay though.
Oh, I think he's okay. I don't think that it made or break his career.
Yeah, they were okay.
Yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into the Broken Battery Podcast. For all your pop culture needs, and feel free to subscribe to the show, and we will talk at you later.
Peace out, guys.